So before we get into the main topic, I would like to kindly ask you to like and subscribe to this channel. During the last month of June, we had over 27,000 new viewers, which is absolutely great. That just knocks me out. So anytime somebody likes and subscribes to this channel, it really helps us out, and I'm very, very appreciative of it. All right, so right now you're looking at masterworks.com, and you may have seen this. I've heard about this for, a couple months at least, where there is a new type of investing. It's investing in art, where you purchase a certain percentage of a art piece, and then over the course of time, it will rise in value. And whenever it sells, you will, in a perfect world, have a higher rate of return than you would in the stock market. So as you can see right here, there is quite a few pieces of work that has matured in value over the last few years. You have Banksy, you have Kondo, you have Olin, you have Monet, you have a wide gambit of artists and certain pieces of artwork to go ahead and invest in, which is interesting to me, right? Because if you were to talk to these people about reselling Lego, I wonder how many people would have an open mind, right? So I just thought that was interesting. And for those of you that don't know, the president of JP Morgan Chase, his name is Jamie Dimon. I don't have a pro or con opinion against him or for him. It just is what it is, right? This is somebody that I've been tracking for a long time, and I've just been watching and seeing what he is doing over the last decade or so. But it wasn't until yesterday whenever I heard that JP Morgan Chase, and Jamie Dimon, of course, is the president of, has a large and significant collection of art. So right now we're on Google, and I just typed in JP Morgan art collection, and there's a question: how much is JP Morgan's art collection worth? $900 million. So that is almost $1 billion in art, right? Which again, I think is interesting because a lot of people would consider art a alternative investment, right? Jamie Dimon has come out and he has a lot of vitriol towards crypto and Bitcoin and whatever, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but it's interesting that JP Morgan Chase and the president of that company, Jamie Dimon, has a significant amount of art in a collection that's totaled at $900 million. And for those of you that don't know the art hustle, and I don't want to say that in a negative way, a lot of people will. I'm not saying it in a positive way either, more of a neutral way, right? So one way that you can hustle the art industry, right, is you can purchase a work of art for, let's say, $100,000, right? And then 3 years later, you can get a accredited art estimator, appraiser, whatever you want to call it, and they will put a value on that. So let's say hypothetically you purchase a work of art at $100,000, and 3 to 5 years later, that work of art is now valued at $500,000. Well, what you do is you create a nonprofit. You could go to LegalZoom or whoever you want to do and create a nonprofit, and you could donate that work of art to your nonprofit and get an incredible tax break on it. And it's just a crazy, crazy, crazy way that the system works, right? So if you didn't know that, I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you. And finally, before we get into the main topic, you're looking at youtube.com, of course. In this video that I'm about to present to you is more or less a state of the reselling economy, e-commerce, whatever you want to call it. Well, I've really been thinking about doing a state of the Lego creator economy video, which I'm probably going to do, but I wanted to hear some feedback because you could see right here that there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of Lego content creators. And it was interesting when I was in Chicago at what I saw, and it was very interesting at things I didn't see. And this is a topic that I feel needs to be addressed. It has been talked about occasionally on other YouTube channels, but I don't think that it has been talked about in a very broad scope. So this is a video I'm thinking about doing. It doesn't involve reselling. It will to a point, right? Because I will be talking about the reselling Lego content creators along with the other content creators, but this will be more of a business focused video, and it will talk about what some people are doing and what they should be doing in art. So if that's a video you would like to see, I would love to hear you talk about that in the comments section. So the subject matter of the Lego reselling economy has been talked about maybe here or there on a Facebook group or a forum. But I wanted to expand that conversation to YouTube because there are a lot of things that I see over a decade since I've been reselling Lego. And I do think this would be helpful to new Lego investors, and I also think it would be helpful to Lego investors that have been doing it for a while but may not have considered certain points that I'm going to make. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about a few of those points. So something that I really don't view as a big deal, and I'm very surprised that others out there do see as a big deal, is imitation Legos, right? Otherwise known as counterfeit Legos. Now here's the thing, I have a different definition of what a counterfeit Lego is than some people. The brand Le Pen, I think, is a pretty much downright copy counterfeit Lego brand. It just is. Now, I do feel that the people that are very honest and will put the label Lego compatible, I think they are a little bit more legitimate. And here's the deal. Lego collectors have been purchasing deliberately counterfeit Legos for some time. Commander Cody is a minifig that people have been wanting for a very, very long time. Now, there are times where people will go ahead and they'll make their own minifig out of existing minifigs, right? They'll alter it and they'll make it a Commander Cody minifig. And then there are others out there that will just go ahead and make their own Lego compatible Commander Cody. And it fulfills a need. It did until recently, until the ATTE came out, which had the exclusive Commander Cody minifigure. And you may have seen me post a video of, I don't want to use the word counterfeit, so I will say a Lego compatible Super Mario Brothers minifig, right? Now on the case, it did say not authentic Lego, which I think is very good. But the Mario theme, there are a lot of people that have been gnashing their teeth because they have wanted a Mario minifig and they just don't have them. And again, that fulfills a need. So are there counterfeit Legos out there? Yes. Are they all a bad thing? In my opinion, I would say a small percentage really aren't a bad thing because those pieces are what the market wants. That's what they demand. And those minifigs and other parts are being sold to help out those collectors. Now, again, whenever it comes to the brands like Le Pen and, you know, straight up counterfeit Lego sets, I honestly haven't encountered any serious effects on my end, but I know other resellers that have, which is interesting to me because you would think that I would see it on my end. But that is a concern for other resellers, and I just thought that it would be somewhat of a value to mention it. And speaking of something that is a great value, I highly encourage you to join our Patreon. Right now we have a 7-day free trial, so you can kick the tires, see if you like it, and if you do, you're welcome to stay, and if you don't, it's no big deal. People like this feature and they are taking advantage of it a lot. We have one-on-one consultations, and let me tell you, my week is packed with one-on-one consultations. Last week we had our group chat where we had Jake from Jake's Bricks on. That was one of our best group chats yet, and it's recorded. It's on the Patreon website. We are gearing up for Q4. August for me is whenever I start to talk about Q4 prep. We're always talking about retired sets. We're also talking about when you should send sets to Amazon or when you should start to box up sets if fulfilled by merchant is something that you prefer. And all in all, we do have a really good time. So if that's something you want to check out, make sure you click the link in the bio. Now, something that should be very obvious when it comes to the state of the Lego reselling economy is the proliferation of Lego resellers. And here's the deal. Have there been a lot more Lego resellers since 2020? Absolutely, but I really don't think that there are a lot of Lego resellers out there that really take it seriously. It's more of a hobby. It's something that they'll do on the side for fun, which is fine, but I wouldn't necessarily consider those people a threat. Those are the people that will tend to deplete their inventory before December, whenever the real excitement begins, and they'll just want to get their ROI profit of 50-70% and then get out of there. And we're happy to have them leave, don't get me wrong, but also keep in mind, having a proliferation of resellers and inventory being purchased means that Lego will continue to make those sets. And I really wonder if they look at their sales figures and attribute a certain percentage to resellers out there. So there is an artificial artificial demand whenever you have a lot of resellers, and it does lead to an oversaturation of certain sets in the secondary market, which means you need to prepare yourself to hold those sets a little bit longer. And that's something I don't like doing, right? But the reality is, instead of me originally being a reseller over a decade ago, and we're talking about holding sets for 12 or 18 months, sometimes even 6 months if the right Speed Champion set retired in July and you could sell them in December, we are talking about holding them between 18 months and 2 years. Now that's not always the case, but that is a stark reality. See the Technic Corvette, see Darth Vader's castle, which did retire and seemed to be completely gone, but it was on Amazon. It was almost like it was an Amazon exclusive for some time. So that means you need to learn how to navigate through the crowd, which also means you may need to go out of your comfort zone and buy some Lego sets that you normally wouldn't, because there's a lot of potential for them to have a higher ROI because a lot of people are just not buying it. Now let's talk about diversification. That is one way to protect yourself from the oversaturation of some sets, right? I just mentioned getting out of your comfort zone. This Q4, I should be able to clear all of my Duplo doll houses, right? When it's all said and done, I should have about $20,000 of Duplo doll houses sold. And I know very few people that were gobbling those up. In my opinion, there's only one theme out there, and you're gonna have to do your own due diligence to figure out what that theme is. It has held its value since the price increase. It is a theme that really hasn't been affected by the price increase. And that's a serious opportunity for Lego resellers out there. This is something that we talked about during the last group chat on Patreon. So there hasn't been a time in the Lego reselling industry, if you want to call it that, where due diligence is the most vital to your Lego reselling business. I also wanted to talk about quality over quantity, right? So there are a lot of people out there like myself that sell more on Amazon and eBay. There are some places where we sell that we just can't share on YouTube right now, right? But the reason why we're able to do that is because we've built successful relationships. There is a lot of trust there. There is a lot of dependability that I have towards another entity, and that entity has towards me. And that's something that I'm going to continue to foster for a very, very long time. And you can make the same point whenever you're buying Walmart clearance, right? Sure, are there going to be onesies and twosies that are a great deal? But should you really buy them? If you want to, great, God bless. But I know I would pass up onesies and twosies without even thinking about it. I was at Walmart, you know, a couple months ago. The Wolverine mech was sold out. I saw one. I just let it go. I'm not gonna worry about that. I like to get quantities of at least 20 or more. And the more you value quality sets and those relationships, it will just continue to benefit you in the years to come. I've said this many times in the past, but I think it's worth talking about it now, is if you are a serious Lego reseller, you also want to be intimate with those sets if this is something that you're building for yourself or you're building with your family. You just don't want to experience purchasing these sets. You want to experience, or at least anecdotally, hear stories about how people like the Toy Story theme, maybe certain sub-themes in Star Wars, and things of that sort. You will become more intimate with the inventory that you have, and it will definitely affect your decision-making process in the future. I've talked in the past a lot about building networks, but let me just bring it back a little bit. I definitely think it's beneficial for you to build networks, but even if you don't want to do that, that's fine. As long as you're contributing to maybe a Lego Facebook group or an online forum, and you're giving real quality information, and you're also absorbing real quality information, it will just make you a more sharper investor. I just can't stress that enough. By staying vigilant in adopting diverse buying strategies and maintaining a focus on quality will help you navigate through the ever-changing Lego reselling landscape. That's it, friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with wolforbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.